Hello, world. This is, I guess, going to be my podcast. Forgive the beeps. That's my seatbelt indicator in my car. I guess I'm going to call it a night drive until I change the name. So, recently, I have become Christian. I was living a life of perversion. I was living a life of gluttony. And forgive me for saying this if you are offended by foul language, but it's made me a fat lump of shit. I have some pathway forward to a better life. I know this because it's not like I did nothing with my life up until now. I'm 36, by the way. Just turned 36. I've got some training in education. It's not complete. I know some things about programming. I know some things about system administration stuff, like the Linux operating system. I know some about that. I just need to sharpen my skills to get me out of this current position that I am in, which is working DoorDash. Luckily, I am not such a loser that I live with my parents, even though I would love to, because I just feel like I'd taken my family for granted too much in my life. That living with my parents could be a blessing in disguise to spend more time with them before they leave this world and go to the next life with God. Because I know they're both good people. They had challenges, as we all do. So, I find myself driving at night. And by the way, if you do decide to follow, I don't know why you would. This is just me airing out my grievances with myself and explaining my situation. Which, explaining my situation hopefully deters someone who's young from, becoming a pervert or becoming a glutton, or, once again, sorry for cursing, a fat lump of shit like I am. The only thing that really helps me is prayer. And I swear to God, which I shouldn't have said, but please know that this will not be a Christian podcast. I know everyone isn't Christian, and a lot of people are off-put by Christianity. I was one of those people. I admit it. Even though I have no shame in it, because I didn't know what Christianity really was. I thought it was this judgmental, holier-than-thou, for lack of a better word, cult that my grandmother made it seemed to be. Sorry, my grandmother did not make Christianity. Jesus Christ made Christianity when he died on the cross for our sins. I thought it was this judgmental thing, even though I had met plenty of Christians that were not judgmental in the least. They understood it, they got it, and it's a shame that I have only just now got it. Like, I almost get mad at myself for not having accepted Jesus Christ into my heart earlier, because I feel like I would have made something better with my life had he come to me earlier. But I'm not the one to find out God's mysteries for myself. God's mysteries, they can make me go mad, honestly, but I just have to let them be mysteries. So I'm alone. I have a roommate who has a girlfriend. I'm very happy for them. I am hoping that their relationship lasts the rest of their lives, and that it's loving and they have children, and that they're both happy. But it makes me feel despair because I'm alone. I don't have a woman in my life. I just feel like a disgusting monster whenever I go outside or whatever. I feel like that people see me as a lesser being, a degenerate of some sort, which, if I'd rather say something better, but I'm just going to take the term sinner and replace it with degenerate, I guess. I was massively addicted to pornography, and I know that's a lot of people's problems. I probably still am a porn addict, but I just haven't been able to think about it much. I've been focusing on other things, and I feel like people can see that. Like, people can pick up on that sin that I was of perversion. I was of perversion. I was made of it. No, I'm not of perversion. But they could tell that I suffered with that perversion. And it was one of the first things that I thought of when I decided that Jesus Christ, I didn't decide that, by the way. I recognized Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. I was constantly coming up with ways to keep going with this perversion, keep living with it, and let it corrupt me more. And I decided eventually that it was time that I needed to give up pornography. I needed to give up masturbation, and I needed to see women not as sexual objects, that I needed to see them for their personalities. And it's hard. It's hard not to see them for their personalities, but to recognize that I had objectified women rather than recognize them as what they are, a person. And, you know, it's hard to reconcile how bad I viewed women that way. Like, I never said that much sexist rhetoric, but, like, I was a man of fetishes, and when I saw a woman that I found beautiful, I couldn't appreciate her beauty without thinking about having sex with her. And I know there's like a lot of people that do that, a lot of men that do that, a lot of other women that do that. By the way, if you're thinking, oh, this guy's a Christian, he hates LGBTQ people, far from the truth. Far from the truth. I don't hate anybody. I used to. I'm sick of hating. I used to hate people. Not specifically LGBTQ people. Not specifically other races. I used to just enjoy hatred. And now it makes me sick. It hurts my soul to see hateful things, because it's not of God. But back to the situation with women. So I noticed that, like, a lot of people feel their a lot of men, when they see women, sorry, I'm a little bit incoherent, there's no script, I just am doing this for my mental health. A lot of men, when they see women, they think, oh, I should have sex with her. Like, that's all they can think about when they view her. And I go, man, what a beautiful woman now. I wonder what she's like. And I just go, am I even going to be able to sustain this? Am I going to be able to recognize that my perversions are corrupting me and they're bringing me further away? Am I going to be able to keep up with that? Hopefully. And I don't condemn anybody that gets sexually aroused by the sight of a beautiful woman, or even a beautiful man, I guess, if you want to say that. I mean, I'm not attracted to men, but whatever. A lot of people are. And that's not a problem with me. So I just go on this thing where I go, I need love. I need the love of a woman. And I need to be a father and raise a child to be a better person than I was. That's my goal with what children I may have is that they're a better person than I am. My father and mother, their goal was to have me and my brother have more than what they had when they were children. And they accomplished that. And I think it was a very selfless, noble goal that Jesus Christ would have supported. But I didn't recognize the gift that they gave me. And I squandered a lot of natural, not a lot of natural advantages, a lot of advantages that other people don't necessarily have. I wasn't born poor. I was educated at a very good school. I was accommodated in my education for my learning disability of dyslexia. And, you know, there's a lot of people that don't have access to those resources. And, you know, what do I do with it? Almost nothing. Almost nothing. I could have gone to a good college and gotten a degree or whatever, but I didn't. I wanted to have fun in my late teens. I wanted to drink alcohol. I wanted to smoke weed. I wanted to masturbate. I wanted to objectify women. Little did I know, and I just focused, I would have had maybe a beautiful wife. I don't know. But that's spilled milk, and I'm tired of crying over spilled milk. I gotta find a way to put that back in the carton or jug or whatever. So I finally I recently decided to get on this this dating app, and I get this message, or I think it was a comment on one of the pictures I uploaded, and she goes, this girl, she's like, "Oh, you're so cute, message me." And I go, alright, this woman has interest in me. She's not hideous. So I look at her profile, see that she's Christian, and I go, hey, maybe this could work. Maybe this is meant to be. I don't know. I'm not opposed to dating non-Christians. It's just that I think it would be better for me if I dated another Christian. And I talked to this woman briefly, and she talks to me, and she says, can you call me? And she gives me her phone number. I call her on the phone. We have like, I don't know, a 20-minute conversation. And in this conversation, she asks me, what do I do for a living? And I tell her, well, I DoorDash. I have roommates because I own my condo. And my roommates, they pay me rent, and that covers like a good portion of my bills. And I just DoorDash to make up for the rest of the stuff that they don't cover by paying rent. And she kind of like scoffs at that. However, two sentences later, she divulges that she's on disability. And I go, look, I don't mind that someone's on disability. I didn't say any of this to her. I was being polite. But I said, but I think to myself, I don't mind that someone's on disability. Like, that's fine with me. If they actually need disability, then they should have disability. And if somebody determined that she's entitled to disability, who am I to say, no, you're not entitled? I don't know everything. So she says that she's on disability, yet kind of goes, oh, how can you pay your bills with DoorDash? Like, like I'm not good enough for this woman on disability. So we make an arrangement for her to go to church. For me and her to go to church on Wednesday. And she lives very far away, like an hour and 20-minute drive, which I know isn't a lot for some people, but when I drive for a living, more driving isn't really my favorite thing to do. So she lives like an hour and 20 minutes away. And I go, all right, I'll pick you up on Wednesday, which was yesterday. And we'll go to church or whatever. And she's like, you have to bring something. And I go, okay. Like food. And I go, all right, fine. I'll buy whatever you want. I'm not expecting to buy 3 bars of gold. So I'll buy whatever this woman wants me to buy for her church group, and we'll go to the church. And so I go, all right, I'll see you Wednesday. And I had made plans with my mother on Labor Day, which was this past Monday. I was going to meet my mother at a restaurant, and we were going to have dinner because I had told her that Friday that I had accepted Jesus Christ as my Savior. And she had a similar thing happen to her. And she's now going to church and everything. And so I have dinner with my mother. And it's great. It's great. I had a great dinner. We had a great conversation about the history of our family. Mainly her side of the family. And a little bit of my father's side of the family. But mainly hers, because I have a stronger connection to my dad's side of the family than my mother's side. And I want to strengthen my connection to my mother's side. So I talked to my mother about my family. And I go to a Barnes and Noble, and I buy 2 books about tabletop gaming, which that's going to be a more frequent topic in this podcast. So I buy more. So I buy the 2 books, and I drive home. I'm laying in bed, and I'm reading. I get a message on the dating app, and she goes, it's that girl, and she goes, oh, I forgot to say, she was trying to get me to hang out earlier that day, and I said, no, I had plans with my mom, and I'm just going to have dinner with my mom, because that's more important. And she kind of like begrudgingly accepted that. And so I'm laying in bed reading, get a notification. It's this woman. She goes, I'm in the hospital. And I go, oh, what happened? I was thinking she was like backing out of Wednesday. And she tells me what happens. I'm not going to divulge that, because that's very personal, of why she was in the hospital. And then she goes, Can you come get me from the hospital? And I go, I guess so. Like, yeah, unless you can't get anybody else. And I was like, trying not to say no, because like it would feel unchristian to say no, and I didn't want to do that necessarily. But she was like, oh, please, can you come get me? Like, if you can't, that's fine. And she goes, I could try and she's like, I can sleep over if you want. And I go, at this point I'm like, no, I'm not letting you sleep over. And she says, so eventually she convinces me to go there, to drive the hour and 30 minutes or 20 minutes it took for me to get there. And it's pouring rain. Like, it's not raining the entire time, but it's raining off and on, and when it's raining, it's pouring down. Like, trust me. And I go, oh, this is great. It's 11 o'clock at night. I'm driving an hour and 20 minutes there to take this girl home from the hospital. Get to the hospital. I'm just hanging out at the hospital for more than like 45 minutes. I'm like very annoyed. The only good part of that night was I started listening to an audiobook that was really compelling. And I go, well, I probably can't listen to the audiobook with her in the car, because, like, who wants to listen to an audiobook like 2 or 3 chapters in? And not everybody likes audiobooks, so I was just like, I'll just listen to the, like, sports talk radio that's the default FM station in my car, and that'll be what we listen to as background noise. And so while I'm at the hospital, she gets discharged, and she gets in my car, and she goes, oh, now I gotta give you head. And I was like, no, I do not want sexual favors from you. That's not what I want. And she asked me if I looked at her body, because she was like in a hospital gown and you could see her bottom. She asked if I looked. I said no, because I'm like trying to move away from being perverted. And she like got offended by that somewhat, but you know, whatever. And then I take her home, drive back, still raining, got the audiobook, and get in bed to go to bed, tell her I made it home okay. Then the next morning she messages me, and I just ignore it because, like, I don't want to go off on this woman. And later on, I'm just chilling, getting ready to go to bed, and she messages me again. She goes, "Are you still coming?" And I go, yeah, I might as well still go. I promised. And I was going to try my best to keep the promise. So I said yes, and then she says, "Dress nice." And I was like, okay, fine. And I go to sleep. And I wake up, and she goes, "You also need to take," she doesn't say it this verbatim. She goes, "Get here by 3:30. The church thing is at 5:30. She goes, "Get here by 3:30. I have a doctor's appointment at 4:30, and then we could go to lunch." And, like, you know, I'm going, like, "You're also assuming that I'm going to buy you lunch." And I go, "Alright, I'm being exploited here." And I respond, "I'm very frustrated, and I don't think this is going to go anywhere. I'm going to have to cut ties." And I ended the chat, and I deleted my profile from the app. And I go to myself, man, online dating is terrible. It's just an abomination because of that woman. She was, like, vulgar, and she was just very demanding. And I don't hate this woman. I just want nothing to do with her. And I ultimately feel bad about cutting ties with this woman. Not cutting ties with her, the way I did it. I feel bad about, like, not at least going to the church thing and then like saying, "Oh, I don't see this going anywhere," and then breaking contact. I should have at least done that, but I had gotten so frustrated that I said that I just cut ties right then and there. And I go, I don't want to do this in the future. I don't want to do this in the future. I don't want to be exposed to someone that's going to take advantage of me, and being exposed to someone that's out to hurt me, or not out to hurt me, but, like, it's just not in line with what I want out of a relationship. And I seem to find it very difficult to find a woman on, like, online dating apps. And here's the thing, I don't really get out that much. Like, I hang out at home when I'm not working. Like, I like to do creative writing. I like reading. I like playing video games. And then I go to the gym where I put my headphones on and do my workout, work on myself. And then I go to church. I go to Mass Saturdays at 4. Like, I'm not gonna pick up a girl hanging around at home. Like, I don't want to use church as a dating pool, because that's wrong. And I don't even deserve to look at a few of those girls at the gym. They're so beautiful. They put a lot of work into their physique, and I just feel like I'm so hideous for being overweight. I'm not, like, I have good facial structure. People tell me I look younger than I actually do. And that I actually am. They tell me I look younger than I actually am. So I'm happy with that. I'm blessed with that. But I'm still fat. That I can fix. Yeah, I feel like online dating is literally the only thing I can do. And trust me, it doesn't yield the kind of woman I could see myself being with. I've seen a few women on dating apps that were really hot. Curse me for saying that. Really hot. I've seen a lot of women that I found attractive and that I wanted to get to know to see if there was a potential for a relationship. There was one woman there. She asked how my Sunday was, and I guess we talked for like a couple sentences. And I guess she met someone similar, a male version of the girl I met, which you're more likely to meet as a woman dating online, because I know perversion, having lived in a fetid swamp of it for many years. And she probably just noped out. She noped out and deleted her profile on the dating site, which is the best move, because you know, who wants to deal with creeps? Not many women do. I know this is like rambling, but this is just how I get my feelings out, how I get my insecurities out. And I'm on my way home. If you listen to this after I upload it, which I'm going to listen to it when I'm done recording, because I'm on my way home now. I was just driving around at night just to clear my head and talk to you, and it helped. It helped. Driving around talking about that terrible experience I had with that woman. I almost called her terrible. She's not terrible. She's just lost. Like a lot of people are. Even though I am with Jesus Christ, I still feel lost. Certainly. Well, I guess I've talked long enough. I'm gonna end this. I'll see you on another night drive.